also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
You don't.
Now he's in a little bit of hot water as it pertains to something else kind of related to immigration, which has to do with these H-1B visas. So he was on Laura Ingraham's show on Fox 2 nights ago, and he got into it a bit because he was talking about 600,000 Chinese students that he wants to come to the U.S. to do jobs, in essence, that Americans either can't or won't do. So here's the original clip.
Folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Okay, so we're going to show you more in just a second. I do want to, as I credited Piers, I want to credit Laura here, right? This is she's obviously in the Trump camp. She likes him a lot, big supporter. She's asking him a tough question, and his answer, in essence, that portion of the answer to me was not great. His answer was basically, oh, if these kids don't come, the colleges will fail. Well, who cares at this point? I mean, have we not talked over the last couple of years about the utter failure of our higher places of education and these institutions? Like, if the argument is they're only being floated because we're educating foreigners, then maybe they shouldn't exist in the first place. But I want to give Trump a chance to explain a little bit further.
Dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French. You don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Okay, so I agree with Trump that MAGA wants the country to thrive, but that's not exactly what this is about. I'm really with Laura on this. Like, if what we're saying is that these places of higher education can only exist, they're only propped up because we have to bring in hundreds of thousands of foreigners, particularly from China, where we know they are stealing intellectual property, and we know there's some level of spying. And even if none of that was true, how does it make sense that we are basically subsidizing our American universities with foreign students? Like, there does seem to be a problem.
If you've ever been seriously hurt in an accident, your injury could actually be worth millions, and most people have no idea. Insurance companies love to lowball claims, offering way less than what you deserve. That's why there's Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 attorneys across 50 states. They've been fighting for people for more than 30 years, and they don't settle for lowball offers. Just recently, they won $12 million in Florida, $26 million in Philadelphia, and $6.8 million in New York, all way above what insurance companies offered. And the best part, it's completely free unless you win. No upfront costs, no hidden fees. It takes only a couple minutes to see if you have a case. Did you know you can start a claim with America's largest injury law firm in just one click? It's super easy. Just go to forthepeople.com/Rubin or click the link in the description and pin comment.
Anyway, there was an awful lot of pushback on Trump about this, and then the White House did clarify the Chinese student visa policy. Here's what they said. This is from Fox. President Trump isn't proposing an increase in student visas for Chinese students. The 600,000 references 2 years worth of visas. It's simply a continuation of existing policy. So, okay, so that is interesting. Let's go on the assumption that is true. I don't think that changes the overall premise here, which is, why is it that we are, in essence, artificially keeping our universities afloat via Chinese and international students? I think a lot of people are realizing that that's a problem. Here, Trump explains that the H-1B visa, which is what much of this is about, there's a student visa issue, and then the H-1B visa is when they take what they claim are skilled workers, usually from India, but sometimes also from Asia, but usually from India, when they bring in these quote unquote skilled workers to do jobs that Americans aren't either qualified or talented enough to do.
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we
a
have
country
plenty of talented people
no,
here.
you don't. No, you don't. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, I want to give them both credit here. She's doing a fine job as an interviewer. Again, pushing the president who she supports on something, basically saying we have enough workers here and why can't it be Americans? And then he's also saying something that is true, right? Like, which is that, okay, let's say you bring all these companies there. We know that these companies are now putting tons of money into factories and everything else here. Where do we get the workers? Now, you can't, he's right, you can't just pull them off unemployment lines. These are people who are qualified in either completely different things or totally unqualified for something like this, right? So, well, first off, could you have some level of training to get these people to come over? And could you maybe tell a company from another country, hey, if you're going to build a factory here, part of the deal is you have to hire a certain amount of workers, and some of that are from America, and some of that has to be training. I have no doubt that some of that takes place. But I think what's getting people really sort of annoyed at Trump on this is that in that he is MAGA, he is America first. I think people want to hear him say, hey, we're going to figure it out, meaning, you know what, they can invest in here. In this country. That's great. They have access to our markets and all that stuff, but they damn well got to figure out a way to hire Americans. Nobody wants to hear even if it's slightly true in some sense, that we don't have enough highly qualified people to do a certain amount of these technical jobs. The MAGA base just doesn't want to hear that. So I think they have to clean up some of the messaging on this.